You are listening to Unstoppable Actors, the essential podcast for ambitious, unknown actors with me, Louise, the artistic director of Standby Method Acting Studio. And for the last 13 years, I've been taking unknown actors with blank CVs all the way to Netflix dramas, Amazon Prime films, TV soaps, and stage plays around the world. And every week I'll be talking with you and sharing how you can become a paid working unstoppable actor, because you 1000% can. An acting career is doable. Are you ready to dive into the episode? Welcome back to Unstoppable Actors. If you're returning for your numerous episode, how many of you actually listen to, would you say? I'd love to hear. Come and drop me a DM over at our Instagram page, which is at Standby Method Acting Studio, and let me know how many episodes you reckon you've listened to and which one has been your favourite so far. I'd love to know that. If you've just found us either on Google Podcasts, on Spotify, Audible, the website, wherever you found us, and this is your first episode, it is so good to have you here. You are in exactly the right place that you need to be to take you from where you are now to where you want to go with your acting career. I can help you do that, and it is my absolute pleasure and honour. I'm really excited about today's episode. I know I say this at the start of every single episode, how excited I am about them, but obviously, you want a method acting coach who's excited because, you know, it means they're going to put their heart and their soul into everything with you. But I am excited about this episode because it's going to be really, really useful for you. I'm going to be letting you know how you can figure out whether your characters are hitting the spot or not. And this was something that the members of our Unstoppable Actors Facebook group wanted. So every Tuesday I do a mini class in there for them. It's 10-minute mini method acting class, and they get to choose the topic. And this one just won by miles, like how to know if your characters are hitting the spot. So I thought, you know what, I might as well put this out on the podcast as well, because I think it'll be really useful for you. Now, before we jump into all the juice of how to know whether your characters are hitting the spot, have you got your place on our upcoming workshop on Sunday, the 24th of March? It is completely free of charge. If you are absolutely determined to sharpen your skills, develop your skills, become a better actor, and then allow for more opportunities to start landing at your feet, to become known as the go-to pro actor, then you really want to be getting your place on this workshop. It is going to be so good. So good. We take what I teach you on the episodes to a whole new level. And I know so many of you message me all the time telling me how much you've learned and how inspired and motivated you feel after the episodes. Well, can you imagine this on steroids? That's what the free workshops are like. So it's Sunday the 24th of March, 11 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. UK time. And the workshop is called the Method Acting Booster. Turbocharge your talent and become the go-to pro actor. So if you want to become the go-to actor, you need to be snapping up a place pretty quickly. And the link to do that is bit.ly/the Method Acting Booster, all in lowercase. So you can type that in Google or just click the link underneath the episode because I've left it there for you. I want to coach you. I want to help you go from feeling motivated and inspired after these episodes to actually having tangible, practical method acting exercises that you can use with your character work. So people want to hire you. That's the name of the game, isn't it? Right, let's dive in. Let's get straight on with this then. How do we know if our characters are hitting the spot? So many of you want to know this because you want that validation and you want that feedback that you are on the right track. And that is totally understandable. And that is such a good quality and trait to have. And so I'm glad you're listening to this episode because there are two different mediums in which you can figure out whether your characters are hitting the spot. And the first is from your audiences, and the second is developing a self-awareness in yourself. And I'm going to show you how you do that. So with characters, of course, it is important that they are hitting the spot because when they are, not only does it allow you to feel more confident in your abilities, but it also allows other people to see what you're capable of. And you never know who is watching your performances. You just don't know. And you don't know whether that performance that you've done is going to lead on to another opportunity or not. So I want to share a little story with you around this before I tell you how you know whether your characters are hitting the spot or not, because it is important that every piece of work you're doing, that you're putting out there, is leveling up from the last piece of work that you did. So many, many years ago, I created a play with a friend called Beyond Chocolate, and we performed it on the Fringe scene in Manchester. And it was a two-hander play, 2 females in it, myself and my friend. We wrote it, we acted in it, and we directed it. It had a really good storyline to it, a nice plot twist at the end. And yeah, we channeled a lot of our life experience into it. Now, we didn't expect loads of people to come to watch this play because we were so early on in our career. We worked hard, don't get me wrong. We definitely worked hard to market it and get it out there and to sell tickets, but we didn't expect loads of people to turn up because we were so relatively new and not many people knew of us, but we did. We actually sold out, but what we didn't know is that there was a person in the audience who was running, what were they running? A festival which was running at Stockport Plaza Theatre. And they were in the audience and they watched our play and they absolutely loved it. And they came up to us at the end and they asked us if we wanted to perform this play in this theatre festival, which meant we would be performing at Stockport Plaza Theatre. Now, I know a lot of our listeners are not only from the UK, you're from the States, you're from Europe, you're from Australia, the Middle East, all over. Stockport Plaza Theatre is a regional theatre in Stockport. Just to let you know, it's a bit of a big deal when you're really early on in your career. And the reason I'm sharing that story with you is because there was something about our characters and that play that hit the spot for that opportunity to then present itself and for us to be offered that. And of course, we accepted it. And then we performed our play at the Stockport Plaza Theatre, which was very, very exciting. So it is important to know that just because you might feel like your work is not being seen by very many people, you just don't know who is seeing it and you don't know what doors they can open for you. So you want to work with integrity and you want to be putting your best work out there. It's why I highly recommend you come and join the free workshop on Sunday, the 24th of March, and register a place there once you've listened to this episode, because I can explore this even deeper with you on a more practical level. Because once you start getting into a flow with things with your career, you know, once your characters do start hitting the spot and people are seeing the work you're producing, and then an opportunity is presented to you off the back of one character, then what starts to happen is more opportunities start presenting themselves to you. And it is so exciting because then you've got that validation that, yeah, this is working. There's something that I'm doing right. So let's dive into it then. I hope that story's been inspiring and motivating for you, by the way. But now let's figure out, how do you actually know whether your characters are hitting the spot when opportunities like that are not presenting themselves to you? How can you know? So the first port of call is always going to be your audience. It's going to be your audience and yourself. When we go to yourself, and I'll dig into this a bit deeper when I come to this, but you don't want to be looking at things subjectively. You've got to stop that, take your emotions out of it and go objective. And this is why your audience is always a good port of call. So I'm going to tell you the first way the audience will make you aware that your characters are not hitting the spot. And this is important for you to know. And I'm going to caveat this by saying it's not your cue to start beating yourself up. It's not your cue to go, oh, I'm shit. Oh, perhaps I should give up. Oh, it's just not working. No. That's not the mindset of an unstoppable actor. The mindset of an unstoppable actor is to get curious and go, okay, it's not working. It's not a reflection on my talent, but it is a reflection of where I'm at right now. So what do I need to do? What resources do I need to draw upon to improve this? And of course, your resources are always going to be method acting because it's the most renowned acting technique in the world and it's the one that delivers the best results. But what are the audience members going to say to you, or how are they going to be acting then if your characters are not hitting the spot? And this is the important information you need to take note of. They will not mention anything about your character. They will say things like, wow, how did you learn all those lines? I could never remember all those lines. So that's the first thing to look out for. The second thing is they will either make a comment about your costume being incredible or the set being incredible. And this doesn't just have to be theatre, stage shows that you're doing. So it can be after you've done a stage play. And it can also be if they've watched a film of yours. Maybe they've come to a screening of a film or a premiere of a film. Okay, so if they are making those kind of comments about the amount of lines that you've had to learn, your costume, or the set, your character hasn't hit the spot. And the reason it hasn't is because if it had, they wouldn't even be mentioning those things. They would have been transported into the character's world and they would talk about the character. So that is the first clue to know that your character isn't hitting the spot. And as I've already mentioned, you don't beat yourself up. You don't give yourself a hard time. You be a resourceful, unstoppable actor and go, okay, that's interesting. That's feedback. This is something for me to work with. So what method acting exercises do I now need to use to ensure that I do get into the character, to ensure that my characters are hitting the spot? The second way to know that your characters are not hitting the spot is you come to yourself. And here are some clues for you. And again, you need to remember this. If during your performance, again, it can be stage or screen or an audition, but if during your performance you become aware of your hands and what they're doing and where they're placed, and you start to feel a little bit awkward about them, or you become aware of the thoughts in your head, or you become aware of the audience if it's stage work, or you become aware of the camera if it's film work, or you start to become aware of what everyone's doing, where everyone's placed, how you sound, the way you're saying the words, the way your accent sounds, the way your voice sounds. If you start to notice any of those things, your character is not hitting the spot. And that is simply because you are in your head experiencing something called mental tension. So in method acting, any thought that takes you away from your pure imagination is mental tension. Mental tension disconnects you from your heart, which is where you feel the emotions, and it disconnects you from your body. Now, for you to be fully in character, you have to be grounded in your body. But when you're in your head, you're not. You're disassociated. You're disassociated from your body, you're disassociated from your heart, and you are now no longer present. You're experiencing mental tension, which is that overthinking, that analysis, that analysing everything. And you're either going to be doing something called future projecting and catastrophizing, which is thinking about all the worst things possible that could go wrong with your performance, or you are going to be giving yourself a hard time mid-performance and critiquing yourself and criticising yourself. Either one of those is not good. It means your character is not hitting the spot because you're not in them, you're in your head. Again, we don't take this as feedback to go, oh, well, it means I'm absolutely shit, I should just stop acting. No. I've already said this twice before and I'm going to say it again because that's how important it is. An unstoppable actor goes, this is very valuable information. This is very valuable feedback. And now I know I've got something to work with and there are changes that needed to be made. What changes need to be made? Oh, I need to get into my body. I need to get into my heart, into my emotions, into the character. How do I do that? Okay, I use method acting exercises. Which ones do I need to learn? Do I need to learn personalization? Do I need to learn animal exercise? Do I need to learn rampaging? Do I need to learn script analysis? Okay, which ones do I need to learn? You ask yourself which ones, and then you go, do I know them? And am I competent with them? And if the answer is no, you get yourself a method acting coach. I would love that to be me. And I would love that to be in that free workshop on Sunday, the 24th of March. And it's from there that you start building. You start building on this. You never ever give yourself a hard time and start beating yourself up. That just leads to nothing. Your career won't happen if you're constantly in a state of beating yourself up and putting shame on yourself because you got something wrong. You're going to make plenty of mistakes. Get used to them because they're all a key part of your success as an actor. Okay, so we figured out how to know when the character is definitely not hitting the spot. So let's go to the opposite side then. How do we know when the character is hitting the spot? So we're going to go back to our audience, our lovely audience members. You will know that your character has hit the spot if they are absolutely mesmerised by what you did. And they may say things like, my God, you nearly had me in tears then, or you had me in tears, or God, I'm so choked by that, or wow, that was such a moving performance, or they'll say something to do with emotions. That's when you know your characters hit the spot because you've been completely in them, because they're not thinking about other things. They've been on that journey with you. So they will make a comment towards the emotions they have experienced themselves. That's because they've been on that journey, as I've already said, with you, and your character has hit the spot. The second way you will know that your character's hit the spot with your audience is if they're so blown away, they're like, I can't believe that was you. I literally cannot believe that was you. That didn't look or sound anything like you. Was that really you on stage, or was that really you in that film? When they're making comments like that, again, you have created the magic of this character because they know in their logical mind, well, this is my son or this is my daughter or my friend or whatever, relation you are to them. And they will make comments around that because they just cannot believe the transformation. It's so mesmerizing and magical for them. So that's the two ways that you need to, those are the two ways to listen out for when you know your characters hit the spot from the things that your audience will say. Now, for yourself, let's go back to you. To know that your character is hitting the spot, you will forget your performance. You might think, what are you talking about? You'll come out of the performance and you won't remember it. And you'll be like, my God, did I say all my lines right? Did I forget anything? Did I forget any lines? This is an important piece of information and an important clue for you as an actor, because when you cannot remember what you have done, your characters hit the spot because you haven't been in your head. You haven't been plagued by mental tension, which I spoke about earlier. So mental tension takes you out of the present moment. It takes you out of the character. But when you can't remember what you've done, you have been acting from your unconscious mind. Your unconscious mind is the part of the mind that we're not aware of. It just happens automatically. Now, what's important for you to know is that your unconscious mind drives behaviour. It drives behaviour automatically. So you will have behaved as the character automatically. You just can't remember it because it was happening unconsciously. And that is always a good clue for you. So you've got 4 ways now. 2 ways to know when your character definitely isn't hitting the spot, and 2 markers to know when your characters are hitting the spot. So these are things for you to be self-aware of. And you will be able to know yourself now whether there's more work that needs to be done on the character or whether you've done a lot and it's working and it's landing for your audience. Now, as I've already mentioned quite a good number of times in this episode, we have got a free class on Sunday, the 24th of March. It would be my absolute pleasure to take these lessons further and now work with you in a more practical way. It doesn't cost you anything other than your time, and it's going to be time well spent. So all you need to do is click the link underneath the episode to register your free place, or type in this link bit.ly/the method acting booster into Google and get your place there. I promise you now, this is going to be transformational for your work as an actor, and you really do need to be learning these lessons and getting this hands-on practical coaching if you are determined to sharpen your craft, become the best actor you can be, and to become that go-to actor that's getting hired regularly. So I hope to see you in the workshop, and I hope this has been inspiring. I've absolutely loved hanging out with you, and I really hope you found this episode inspiring. If you have, please do rate the podcast and hit follow so you never miss an episode, and I can help more actors like you. And come and join one of the most supportive, uplifting acting communities on socials, the Unstoppable Actors Facebook group, where you'll get your weekly injection of inspiration, networking, and receive your free Method Actors handbook so you can become an unstoppable actor.